All right, today we're going to create drawings for each of our parts. So we have our top part, our bottom part, and our assembly. And then we're going to end with a completed drawing of our three parts and our assembly. It should look something like this. And all our dimensions are going to look pretty similar because the parts are pretty much the opposite of each other anyway. So we're going to start with our top piece here. And you're going to want to come over to the left-hand side where it says Parts 1. We renamed top. You're going to right-click it, so you'll have to click it first. Then right-click and go to Create Drawing of Top. And the first thing that pops up, now I have recently opened, but you may have to go to OnShape itself, and you want to find ANSI A inch, and that's what we want to use. The next thing you'll see is 4 views versus no views. You can do it either way. We can add the 4 views here, and it'll automatically place them and space them out evenly and scale them based on the size we need to get it to fit on this sheet of paper. So let's go with 4 views. So I'll select 4 views and hit OK. So here are our 4 views. We have our front, our top, and our side view. Now the front and side are the exact same thing. So you can eliminate that side view if you'd like. It's not a requirement, but you could. It's almost like you're providing too much information. So once you are ready to add some information, you want to, number one, find your dimensioning tools up here. And we want to find the dimension tool, which is located right here. You can also hit D on your keyboard. So I'm going to hit the dimension tool, and I'm going to choose where I want to label each piece of information. Now, our top view in this case, because of how we drew it, provides us with pretty much the most amount of information for this item, even though usually the front is, right? The front view of that object. Now, you can dimension this any way you'd like because we can add information here, we can add it here. I like to put it all on one, and I like to bring everything from one spot. So what I mean by that is if I'm going to take a dimension from here, this is called baseline dimensioning. If I take a dimension from the bottom here, I'm going to measure to the middle, right? And I'm going to say the distance from here to here is 0.75. Now, just like we did in sketching, we want to make sure that we create all of our dimensions closer to the object if they're smaller and work our way out. So I still have the dimension tool. So again, I'm going to click on the bottom. This time I'm going to click on the second line. Doesn't matter which one you select, it's going to measure the same distance, right? And then I'm going to bring that out. So it should be 1.5. And then I'll do the same this direction. Click on the bottom, click on the top, and bring it out. And it should say all of the same dimensions. If your dimensions are not correct here, you'll have to fix them on your part. So we have our dimensions on this side. Now I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So I'm going to start on the right-hand side here. I'm going to click on this vertical line. Click on the next vertical line, right? That should be 0.75. I'm going to bring it all the way outside of my drawing, meaning I'm not going to put it in this little corner here. I want to bring it outside of this part. Then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to select where I started, then the second line, right? Just like I did on the other side. First line, last line. All right, so that's describing a lot of our information, right? The only thing it's not providing us with is the depth. So we do still need to provide, if we're looking at the front or the side view, you know, how wide or, I'm sorry, how deep is this object, right? Because we have our height and width here. Now we need to provide our width and depth. So I'm going to do that on the side over here instead of the front. And the reason that is because I have a lot of information over here. I'm just going to make it easier to read. So I'm going to start on the bottom and click on my second line there and say that the depth of this one is 1 block tall and the depth of 2 of these, or where that part interlocks, is 1.5. Right? So that describes all of our dimensions needed for this part. The last things you want to do is add a little bit more detail and finish up your title block in the bottom. By detail, our 3D object should be shaded. So I'm going to right click. So I'll click on that 3D object. I'm going to right click, and then once you right click, you'll see show/hide. And we want to click on that show shaded view. Right? So it's just shading in that object, whatever color you made it. And that is the only one that should have color to it. These should always remain black and white. These are only to describe. This gives us a picture of what the actual object looks like. And then finally, we're going to come down here and we're going to complete our title block. So the title of this, right, I'm going to select one of these, so I'll double click the middle one. And I'm just going to type top. Actually, we want it in all caps. So this drawing, or this title, whoops, it didn't save. This title should be top, and I can erase these dashed lines and hit the green check. This is drawing number 1, and then subsequent drawings will be, O1, and then your bottom drawing will be O2, and so on. Material is wood, because these are wooden blocks, right? All caps. And finished, right? Finish here, that's going to be whatever color you make it, purple, right? So it's painted purple. So that's a general background, right? You can see where it says drawn and all that, and then it gives me spots to check this if we were to print it, which we will in the future, right? So once you have all of this information, you're completed with this drawing. Now, you're going to complete this same process for the bottom. You want to make sure you have all of your dimensions, and I'll have a picture of those, the completed set, on Schoology, so you'll be able to check it to make sure that you have all of them. All right, so you should have a similar amount to this. So we have 6, 7, 8 total dimensions. And then finally, your assembly drawing will be the same. On this one, you'll just have to show hidden lines. All right, so you do want to make sure that you have that title block filled out on all 3, so your titles will change. Your material will stay the same, but your finish will also change. Your drawing number changes O1, O2, and then O3. Good luck. If you need any help, I could definitely assist you. And once you're finished, it should already be shared with me, but just double check it. Go ahead and click that share button. Change it. It should say it right here if it already is, but if not, 2122 engineering or whatever class you're in, and then change that from can edit to can view. And go ahead and hit share. All right, good luck.